Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Jasmine's mom confronts Matt following shocking pregnancy reveal on 90 Day Fiancé. Happily ever after? The air inside the small Detroit apartment was so thick with tension it could be bottled and sold as instant drama. The episode had already delivered the kind of twist TLC producers dream of. Jasmine cradling her belly with trembling hands, looking Matt in the eye and announcing, "I'm pregnant." Matt had gone pale, his face freezing in that deer-in-the-headlights expression he often wore whenever emotions appeared in the room. He always claimed he wanted a peaceful life, but somehow he kept choosing women like Jasmine, volcanic, emotional, unpredictable, yet impossibly magnetic. But tonight, there was an unexpected sequel, because Jasmine hadn't come alone. She'd brought reinforcements. Her mother, Emelinda, or as Jasmine always dramatically introduced her, La Reina de Panama, had flown in without warning after Jasmine tearfully called her with the news. Now she stood in the doorway of Matt's kitchen, arms crossed, hair in a tight bun that could slice diamonds, her stare more terrifying than any immigration officer. "So," Emelinda began in heavy-accented English, glaring at Matt like he had personally offended every mother in Latin America. "You get my daughter pregnant, and then you just stand there? Like a frozen potato." Jasmine winced. "Mommy, it's deer in headlights." "Deer. Potato. Same energy," she snapped without breaking eye contact with Matt. Matt opened his mouth, but all that came out was a nervous squeak. This was not the welcome to the family talk he had envisioned. Jasmine had taken a seat on the sofa, watching like it was a live telenovela she herself starred in. She wasn't intervening. Oh no, she was enjoying this. Emelinda took a step forward, heels clicking with the precision of a military officer. "Matthew, do you understand what this means?" He swallowed. "Why, yes. I think so." She leaned closer. "No, you do not think. You know, there's no thinking when a baby is involved. There is doing, providing, protecting, supporting, loving, choosing my daughter every day, even when she's crazy." "I'm not crazy," Jasmine shouted from the couch. Then 2 seconds later, softer, "Okay, maybe a little." Matt tried to nod respectfully, but his neck felt like it had turned into rusted machinery. He didn't know which was scarier, becoming a father or disappointing this Panamanian firestorm of a woman. Emelinda continued, pointing at him like a judge delivering sentence. "You wanted to marry her. You wanted to build a life. Fine. Congratulations. Now you build it faster. Baby means no more uncertainty. No more I need space. No more I'm overwhelmed. You understand." This was a direct reference to the previous episode, where Matt had mumbled something about needing breathing room. That phrase had turned into a full-scale hurricane via Jasmine's emotional barometer. He nodded earnestly. "Yes, I understand." Emelinda wasn't done. "And let me tell you something more. My daughter, she is intense, loud, emotional, dramatic." She paused. "She cries when she loses her favorite lipstick. She screams when she cannot find parking. She punches pillows when she is happy." "Accurate," Jasmine said from the couch. "But she loves harder than anyone I know. She gives everything when she believes in someone. And she believes in you." Jasmine's eyes widened. She hadn't expected softness. Neither had Matt. Emelinda's tone softened just a fraction. "So if you are going to be the father of her child, then you better be worthy of that belief." Matt's breathing finally steadied. For the first time since the reveal, he found his voice. I know I'm not perfect," he said slowly. "I'm not loud. I'm not emotional like her. I'm quiet, sometimes too quiet, but I love her, even when she terrifies me." He shot Jasmine a glance, which is often. Jasmine beamed like he had just recited poetry. "I may not know how to be a dad yet," he continued, looking between Jasmine and her mother, "but I'm going to try. Every day. For both of them." His voice faltered. "I just hope I'll be enough." Emelinda stared at him for a long, silent moment. Then, finally, she walked forward and patted him on the cheek. Very lightly, almost lovingly, though it resembled a warning tap one might give a faulty toaster. "You better be." Jasmine squealed and rushed over to hug her mother. Then, in very Jasmine fashion, she yanked Matt into the embrace, nearly choking him in the process. "If you drop her, I drop kick you," Emelinda said, though she smiled for the first time. Matt nodded from inside the smothering hug. Understood. The camera panned out. From chaos to unity. From panic to purpose. From shocking reveal to family formation. Back in her confessional interview, Jasmine wiped away tears. "This baby, it wasn't in our plan," she said, voice trembling. "But maybe it was in God's plan." She paused, then smirked. Or maybe karma wanted to spice things up. Cut to Matt's confessional. He looked exhausted, but determined. "Her mom scares me," he admitted. "But honestly, I think I needed that." He paused. "And I think I'm going to buy earplugs, just in case." Next week on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Jasmine drags Matt to a Lamaze class he didn't know he signed up for. And Emelinda? She's looking at real estate in Detroit. Because apparently, if he's going to raise my grandchild, I'm going to supervise. There were dramatic reveals, and then there was this. The episode had already taken viewers on an emotional roller coaster. Tears, gasps, and a classic TLC slow-motion zoom on Matt's face as Jasmine whispered those life-altering words. "I'm pregnant." But while fans were still recovering on social media, the real chaos had only just begun. Because Jasmine's mother, Emelinda, legendary in the fandom after her memorable cameo in Season 1, had landed in America unannounced. Not for vacation. Not for sightseeing. No, she came frozen in his own living room like a malfunctioning Roomba. The silence was shredded by the sharp click-click of high heels approaching from the hall. Jasmine was nervously fluffing pillows on the sofa as if interior decor could soften what was coming. Then, bam, the front door flung open, and in swept Emelinda, draped in a floral trench coat like a Panamanian general entering enemy territory. She scanned Matt up and down with a glare that could exfoliate skin. "You!" she declared, pointing a manicured finger like a dagger. Matt blinked. "Me? Don't play dumb. You're not that good an actor." He wasn't sure if that was an insult or a compliment. Jasmine scurried forward. "Mommy, please, let's talk calmly, okay?" "Calm," her mother snapped. "You expect calm? You call me crying on the phone, telling me you're pregnant, and then you expect me to come here with calm." "I also said I was happy," Jasmine argued. "Yes, but your happy crying sounds exactly like your panic crying. I had to book the flight to come find out which." Matt finally spoke. "Mrs. Lopez." "Do not call me Mrs. Lopez. I am Mommy until further notice." Matt nodded, so hard his neck cracked. "Yes, Mommy." She moved closer, scrutinizing him like a customs officer inspecting potential contraband. "My daughter tells me she is pregnant." Her voice dropped low. "You know what that means." Matt swallowed. His palms were sweating so much he could probably water a houseplant with them. "It means," he hesitated, "we're having a baby." Emelinda's eyes narrowed further. "No, she is having a baby. You are having a responsibility." Jasmine clapped. "Yes, Mommy. Tell him." Matt looked like a man who had signed up for a honeymoon package and accidentally been drafted into military service. Her mother continued pacing, building momentum like a prosecutor. "I watched every episode," she said, stabbing the air. "Every fight. Every time you said you needed space. Every time you ran to your friend Julio instead of talking to her like a man." Matt winced. Even the cameraman flinched. "You think babies give you space?" Emmelinda demanded. When that child is born, you breathe when it lets you breathe. If it wants you awake at 3 a.m., you wake up. If it wants to scream at you, you smile. Jasmine sighed dreamily. Mommy's right. Babies pick favorites. You better hope you're not the one they hate. Matt tried his best to speak, without sounding like someone who just realized he'd lost all Wi-Fi connection to common sense. I love Jasmine, he stammered. I want to be there. I will be there. I was just surprised. Emmelinda stopped pacing. Surprised is fine, she said. Coward is not. Ouch. Even Jasmine winced. She walked right up to him, inches from his face. You want to marry my daughter? Fine. But now you are not just a fiancé. You are going to be a father. You must be a stone. Strong. Steady. Reliable. She raised an eyebrow. Can you be stone? Or are you jelly? Matt hesitated. Jasmine gasped. Do not say jelly. He straightened his spine like he'd been drafted into King Arthur's round table. I can be a stone, he said firmly. Emmelinda stared at him, measuring every syllable. Then, she gave a curt nod. Good. She patted his cheek twice. We see. The tension loosened just a hair. Jasmine wrapped her arm around Matt's waist, beaming. See? Everything is fine. We are united. Family now. Love. Support. Understanding. Then Emmelinda turned to her with a serious expression. Now tell me. Jasmine blinked. What? Exactly how far along are you? And why didn't you tell me sooner? Because if you knew before I landed and didn't call. The panic returned instantly. 4 weeks. I found out yesterday. Please don't hit me with the chancla. Later, in his solo interview, Matt looked exhausted yet oddly energized. She scared the life out of me, he admitted. But honestly, I think I needed that. He scratched his head. I didn't grow up with that kind of intensity. My family says things like, we're proud of you, son. Her mom says things like, be a stone or I shatter you. He shrugged. Kind of love it. Meanwhile, Jasmine sat in her confessional glowing like a chandelier. My mother is the fiercest woman alive, she said proudly. She survived raising me. Matt should be grateful. If she approves, the world approves. She flipped her hair. And don't worry, she will test him more. Cut to Emmelinda's interview chair. Her expression was unreadable. I am staying for 3 months. Pause. Maybe 6. The producer off camera asked, in their apartment. She smiled like a Bond villain. Of course. Next week on 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, Jasmine drags Matt to his first prenatal yoga class. Emmelinda begins rearranging their kitchen for efficiency, and Matt finally asks the question every viewer is thinking. Can a man survive living with 2 Jasmines? Only one way to find out.